Good evening to our awardees, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the annual Faculty of Engineering Awards Ceremony 2020-2021. My name is Dr. Omar Thomas, and I will be guiding you through the program this evening. Every year, the Faculty of Engineering aims to organize an award ceremony in which we take time to honor and recognize the efforts of our students and our recent graduates who have worked hard and have thus been able to distinguish themselves among their peers. We do have an interesting lineup of greetings, entertainment, and awards this evening. And so without further ado, I welcome our Dean, Dr. Adrian Lawrence, to give the welcome and remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. The Deputy Principal of the University of the West Indies, Professor Ian Boxhill, this evening's keynote speaker, Managing Director of Smith Warner International, and my very good friend, Mr. Jamel Banton, Deputy Deans, Heads of Programs, students, parents, friends, good evening, and welcome to the Faculty of Engineering's award ceremony for the academic year 2020-2021. Our annual award ceremony is always a high point for the faculty, as it is an evening where we pause from our daily routines to recognize and celebrate the hard work of our students, sons, daughters, and family members, those who by their stellar achievements have distinguished themselves. The 2020-21 academic year started exactly where semester 2 of the previous year ended. COVID-19 very much present, and the faculty delivering its programs in an online format. Lectures and course content presented via our virtual learning environment, ENG-VLE, and Zoom, and students consuming the information synchronously and asynchronously. While this made it harder for students to do their group activities and exchange ideas, which is an important part of the university learning experience, many took the opportunity to do internships, and this no doubt helped to reinforce the concepts they learned from their lecturers. This, my colleagues, family, and friends, is what I admire most about our students. Despite the challenges that come their way, they find a way to persevere and turn it into a positive. Let's get straight into why we are here, which is this award ceremony. We are here to acknowledge and celebrate outstanding performances of our students, family members, friends, colleagues, even awardees. I ask you to take a moment now to salute yourselves and them and give yourself and them a round of applause. Awardees, bask in the accolades. You deserve every bit of it because you have done very, very well. Graduating class of 2021, you have set the bar extremely high for your colleagues. 56 of you have graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in your respective engineering programs. 26 of you attained the highest mark of distinction, first class honors. On the surface, these numbers may seem inflated. However, I personally have seen firsthand that you, the 2021 class, embodies the essence of what it takes to be good engineers. Hard work, teamwork, and collective responsibility. In your first and second years, study groups gathered in the classrooms, spending hours doing practice problems, homework, and working on your projects. In speaking to some of your parents after the graduation ceremony in November, I was told that the groups continue to meet in the third and final year of your various programs. and you found various ways of meeting, whether it was via Zoom, on the phone, or you met in your smaller groups in some undisclosed location. Today, students, is further recognition of your efforts. Having successfully completed your respective degree programs, each of you have been given a solid foundation in the core areas of engineering. Employers out there know that your UE engineering degree is an indication that you are technically competent and were properly prepared for an immediate employment. I ask you to remember that you are now ambassadors of the university and the faculty, and I have no doubt that you will continue to make us proud. Finally, in closing, students and graduates, I want to again congratulate all of you for your achievements. Through your hard work, you have distinguished yourselves, and I encourage you all to continue to strive for excellence in whatever you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lawrence. Dr. Lawrence spoke about hard work, teamwork, collective responsibility. And I too can vouch for these group of students. They stuck through the pandemic and they did exceptionally well. There's a quote by Jim Rohn: if you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. And these students certainly found a way. Now, next on the program, we have greetings from the principal, but he'll be represented by the deputy principal, Professor Ian Boxill. And so I welcome Professor Ian Boxill, deputy principal, to speak. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Adrian Lawrence, Dean, Faculty of Engineering, Dr. Omar Thomas, Deputy Dean, and our MC for today, Dr. Roxanne Stennett-Brown, who's also Deputy Dean, Teaching and Learning, Dr. Nicholas McMorris, Deputy Dean, Graduate Studies, Ms. Sasha Gay Wright, Head of Biomedical Engineering, Mr. Jamel Banton, Guest Speaker, Managing Director, Smith Warner International, Mr. Alvin Bisesor, Guild Representative, Faculty of Engineering, all teaching and research staff, all administrative and professional staff, awardees, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to bring greetings in my capacity as Deputy Principal on behalf of Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of the West Indies Mona Campus, Professor Dale Weber. This 2022 staging of the Faculty of Engineering Award ceremony is indeed a special occasion to celebrate the efforts and achievements of our students. I must extend a special greeting to Mr. Jamel Banton, who has taken the time to deliver the main address this evening. I also wish to express my gratitude to the Dean, Dr. Lawrence, and the Faculty of Engineering academic and administrative team for organizing this program to recognize our outstanding students and engineers. Indeed, it's my hope that next time we do this, it will be using the face-to-face mode. This year's theme, Differentiating the Outstanding Achiever, focused on highlighting and recognizing, focuses on highlighting and recognizing our exemplary students and the dedication they have demonstrated. While we commend our students for their successes, we must also recognize excellence. It is a quality that sets the standards for all to strive to be the best version of themselves. Awardees, there is no doubt that you have faced numerous challenges, especially throughout the pandemic. However, during these unprecedented times, you remained focused and delivered outstanding results. Stand proud. Your success today is due to your unrelenting drive and determination. Awardees, congratulations on your achievements. But I must say special commendations to the first two graduates of higher degrees in engineering, Dr. Lyndon Falconer, PhD in electronic and computer systems engineering, and I must add with high commendation. And also to Dr. Devon Sanderson, PhD in biomedical engineering. Daniel Megu, who is the 2020 recipient of the Class of 1967 Award for Excellence in Leadership and Innovation. And Ashley McPherson, the most outstanding undergraduate student with a GPA of 4.14. She is the top Jamaican UWI engineering graduate for the Caribbean. I would also like to express my congratulations to all of our hardworking students who will be presented with awards today. Continue to strive for greatness. Your commitment and efforts are recognized. Awardees, you are the embodiment of academic excellence. I wholeheartedly believe that the strong foundation you have received at the UWI would lead you to become global-minded leaders equipped with the knowledge to solve complicated issues and problems. I close with you. I close by leaving you a thought, and this is a very encouraging thought, and it says, never stop learning, be proactive, be confident, and most importantly, continue to be resilient. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Ian Boxhill, for exhorting our awardees and those words of wisdom indeed. All right, moving along with the program, we'll have our guest speaker next. But before our guest speaker, we have Mr. Alwyn Bizaza, Gill representative for our faculty, our student body, and he will be introducing our guest speaker, Mr. Jamel Banton, who is the Managing Director of Smith Warner International. And so now I welcome Mr. Alwyn Bizaza to introduce our guest speaker. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, alumni, students, awardees, members of staff. It is with great pleasure that I am here today to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Jamel Banton. Now, Mr. Banton is the Managing Director of Smith Warner International, a coastal engineering design-build firm and the largest of its kind in the Caribbean. Mr. Banton is leading the company through a period of sustained growth, particularly in the areas of climate change, adoption, and construction. One of their recent construction projects in the spotlight is the 1-kilometer boardwalk and coastal revetment at Port Royal Street, downtown Kingston. Mr. Banton graduated from University of the West Indies, St. Augustine in 1997 with a bachelor's in civil engineering and also holds a master's in coastal environment in engineering in IHE, Delft in Netherlands, as well as a MBA from Florida International University. Mr. Banton is a proud country boy from St. Elizabeth and an equally proud son of Monroe College, where his contribution to sports and the School Challenge Quiz Championship of 1993 are still celebrated by his generation. As a leader, Mr. Banton takes a people-centric approach to running the company where he believes wholeheartedly in investing and growing our Caribbean talents as a coastal engineer. His foresight and resourceful design approach allow for early-stage identification of sustainable solutions that are good fits for the environment and his clients. One of his goals in business is to make Smith Warner International a beacon for other Caribbean Engineering International institutes. He's a Caribbean engineering firms to emulate, and even through the company is already fulfilling that goal, he knows there's still so much more to be seen. Mr. Banton believes strongly in contributing to the development of his region and makes critical contributions through newspaper articles and international publications. His recent articles on Hellshire Beach and Alligator Pond in the Observer and Gleaner were very well received by the public. His publication in the ICE Journal of the USA was also awarded as a Best in Research and Practice. A bit on the personal side, he is a husband and father of 3 teenage boys. Mr. Banton is committed to family. he can always be seen with his video camera at his son's football games around Kingston and on their travels to play overseas. His friends would describe him as Mr. Happy at parties, especially those with music from the Eastern Caribbean. Mr. Banton likes to say, life is not a dress rehearsal. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, help me to welcome our guest speaker this evening, Mr. Jamel Banton.
Graduates, parents, guardians, friends, lecturers, admin staff, and all other distinguished guests, good evening. My fellow engineers, congratulations. I take great pride in speaking to you today. This is a special moment for all of you. I remember way back in 1997 when I graduated with my proud parents looking on. For some of you, it might be as momentous as it was for my family. I wasn't just the first to earn a bachelor's degree, but I was also the first to go to high school. For some of you, this was just another box for your family, that your family required that you tick. Whatever this means for your family, know that it was you who did it. It was you who endured the late nights, the group works, the lecturers whose notes you probably didn't find sufficient, and the days of class when you could barely stay awake. I remember I had many of those. This was you. Yes, be thankful for those whose hard work and sacrifice opened the door for you. Those who paid your school fees, those who bought your books, those who carried you to school, those who made sure you were well fed, and those who encouraged you along the way. My grandfather would say, you can carry donkey to a pond, but you cannot force a donkey to drink. So thank those who led you, but pause for a moment and beat your own chest and feel good, feel proud about your achievement. So what next for you? And what advice do I give to you? Firstly, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but after 4 years of learning, you will learn very soon that learning has just begun for you. 25 years on, I am still learning engineering. It was at the ripe age of 87 when the Italian artist Michelangelo wrote these words, I am still learning. I want you to go forth with this inquisitive mind as engineers and never be afraid to say, I am still learning. But this is not the only message I want to leave you with today. You have all learned engineering, but you will not all work as engineers. In time, you will learn that above all other professions, engineering taught you one special skill. That's problem solving. Some of you will bring this skill to finance, investments, banking, and even agriculture. I really hope so, because most of our brightest in these industries are engineers. The world needs more engineers. Believe it or not, we don't have enough because we are trained to solve problems. And whether we are being proactive or reactive, life is about solving problems. And so, whatever path you choose, you will choose different paths. I want to leave you with another important point to remember. And forgive me for being a little bit morbid, but that point is you're gonna die. One day, you're gonna die. The adage goes, you cannot escape death and taxes. But we have seen that even US presidents escape taxes. But in time, there is no escaping the real inevitability. So what do? This is what we must do. We must live our lives. Why? Because life is no dress rehearsal. So how do we do that? So here are some rules. I'm going to tell you 5 rules. These are my rules. So rule number 1, the Romans said it, and the Greeks had it inscribed at the entrance of the Temple of Apollo. Nosce te ipsium. Know thyself. Let me say it again. Know thyself. So many of us still do not understand ourselves. Happiness must start with this fundamental understanding. We still do not know what truly makes us happy. Do we stop to take note of what are the most important things in our lives? Why do we like things done a certain way? And why do we get mad at the things that others people don't get mad at? Do we find ourselves unhappy in a relationship despite our partner's valiant attempts to make us happy? Who am I, and how can I self-improve if I must? I must understand this person within me. As in engineering, imagine yourself a piece of land prime for development. You may want to build the tallest building in the Caribbean. Can you start planning to build until you understand your soil conditions? No, you can't. How will you know if your skyscraper will need to be founded on piles? Or is it even suitable for this high rise? Maybe you are better suited as a public park so that more people will enjoy you. In your world, when social media is so much a part of your lives, how easy it is to lose yourself. How quickly is it for you to be so drawn into other people's lives, and soon their thoughts become your thoughts, and soon the real you is lost. Know thyself. I would recommend Myers-Briggs personality test to everyone as a starter. Use tools like this to understand why it is important that your introverted self must be given some time to process your thoughts before you provide a response, and understand that your extroverted partner or friend likes to speak his thoughts before he's done thinking. So do not take what you hear as his final thoughts. You know, as an introverted person, that is how you would have done it. You'd have thought first, then speak. The extroverted person doesn't do it like that. Understand this and understand that about yourself. But it will require much more than that, than just a personality test. Spend time away from everything else to introspect and to think your own thoughts. Rule number 2, my PO. Be your own IPO. My PO. Invest in me first. As you start to earn, you should hopefully have some spare cash to invest in stocks and eventually in real estate or whatever else. While you will, in time, learn that all of those can be great vehicles to earn or lose money. do not ever forget that you must first invest in you. Firstly, spend money on your health and well-being. And when I say health, I mean your physical health and your mental health. Don't forget that. Invest in spending less time commuting in traffic. Traffic kills you. And more time in safe and relaxing environment. Invest in professional development that makes you better at whatever your job is. Don't go off wondering to do something else on the side when you're not maximizing what you're doing at your job. And if you're so inclined to diversify your income stream, though, invest in learning that skill so you understand what you are getting into. So before you give your money to somebody else to invest, to the bank or to whoever to invest, always try to maximize your own earning potential first. And to do this, your state of being must be operating at optimum capacity. Rule number 3, invest in experiences. They say to travel is to live. And from my experience, that is so very true. I've been fortunate to have been to places all over the globe, and those have been priceless cultural experiences. When you move around Japan and see how polite and kind people are without expectations of anything, they do not accept tips. In Cuba, you learn the fundamental difference between want and need. All those things that we think we need in our lives, and they don't have it. You realize you only want some of these things. You don't need them. What a resilient set of people who are content with the little they have. The Dutch, they are so pragmatic in their daily lives. If this doesn't make sense, we're not going to do it like this. Regardless of what the noise is around us, this is what is sensible, so this is how we will operate. And they're so honest in their personal relationships. The Brazilians will tell you that beach volleyball is their national sport. You'd be surprised. They'll say, of course, because football is a religion. Experiencing people in different places will be that priceless gift you give to yourself. But experiences don't always require you to travel. Instead of always trying to buy someone a gift for their birthday, do something with them. Spend quality time with those you love, doing something outside your daily routine. Get your friends together just to lime. And when that becomes routine, do road trips together. Spend time with your parents. Spend time with your parents, quality time. Make that time, make it a priority. My friends and I love to do sporting events. That's our thing. Whether it's to go to Champs or Champions League, Formula One, whatever. We love those experiences. Those experiences feed your mind and your soul. Rule number 4, it's better together. You do not have to conquer the world by yourself. Seek partners that make sense for whatever that venture of yours is going to be. Whether it's personal or business, always explore the possibility of doing it with other people or just another person. And make those decisions with your mind, not just your emotions. None of the wealthiest people in the world made it on their own. They brought in investors at some point. They had silent partners that kept them focused. They hired key people that executed their brilliant ideas. And they had wives and husbands and parents who gave them encouragement. No man, no woman stands alone. Recognize, though, that a person who is a great partner to have fun with might not be a good partner in business. I have to compare relationships. I love to compare relationships to waffles and spaghettis. So you never know where a piece of spaghetti ends because it's all mixed up. But if you're eating a waffle, you can eat each square separately, square by square. One square with some syrup and the other square with a piece of grape. So choose your partnerships like how you eat waffle. One guy, maybe the guy you party with, another guy, this guy you do business with. It all depends on who these people are, what they bring, how they will complement you. So choose your partnerships when you're building, but be wise about your partnerships. Final rule number 5, money is a good thing. You would have heard, money is the root of all evil. Money can't buy you happiness. Money is a good thing. I'm not saying these are not true statements, but we tend to give money too much of a bad name, especially when you don't have it. Money has always been a necessary part of civilization. Whether it was seashells, a piece of silver, gold bars, a piece of paper, or bytes of numbers in a computer, aka Bitcoin. Having a common item all people value has always been a necessary part of human development. So my message to you today is to not be afraid to strive for wealth if that is your personal desire. Do not be ashamed if that ambition of yours seems so grand compared to the persons around you. Do not be afraid to be an outstanding achiever. It is money that will enable you to invest in yourself. Money will enable you to invest in experiences. And it is money that will give you more opportunities to seek happiness. Whatever that is for you. There's a lot that money is not, but always remember, money always represents one thing: opportunity. There's no guarantee of anything, but it represents opportunity. Do not shortchange yourself of opportunity. So in closing, don't forget my rules. Let's recap. Know thyself. My PO, invest in yourself first. Invest in experiences. It's better together. And number 5, money is a good thing. So my fellow engineers, go forth and live your life, because life is not a dress rehearsal. Thank you so very much for having me. Good evening.
Excellent, 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 Engineer Banton, for those words. First, from the quote from Mike Angelo, I'm still learning. And the 5 points: know yourself, invest in yourself, invest in experiences. It is better together, and money is a good thing. Wow. I've been taking my notes, and I hope you have been taking your notes too, you know. These are some words you can carry way into the future. Now, next we have an entertainment piece, and this is from Saeed Bowman, one of our level 2 electronics engineering student, and he'll be playing the steel band entitled Lift Up Your Head. And so please put your hands together as we welcome Saeed Bowman. Thank you. Wow, Mr. Bowman, that song finished too quick, man. I was just getting down to the groove. That finished too quick. Thank you very much for that rendition. I'll have to watch the recording to listen to that a second time. But so fitting as we are about to enter into the presentation of awards. But before I start that introduction, I have another quote by Albert Schweitzer. Success is not the key to happiness, but happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you will be successful. So think about those words. Now we're going to go into the presentation of awards, all right? And we do have a number of awards coming up, all right? We have most outstanding students. That's talking about the level 1 and level 2 students in academic year 2020-2021. And these will be presented by Dr. Roxanne Stennett Brown, our Deputy Dean of Teaching, Learning, and Student Matters. And that will flow straight into the presentation of outstanding graduates. And this is presented by Miss Sasha Gay Wright, Head of Biomedical Engineering. We'll then have the presentation of the Class 1967 Excellence in Leadership and Innovation Award, which is a special award set up for excellence in our faculty. And this is presented by Mr. George Campbell, the UE class of 1967. Then it will be followed by the presentation of graduates with higher degrees. And this is Dr. Nicholas McMorris, Deputy Dean, Graduate Studies, Innovation and Commercialization. And so please put your hands together as we welcome these string of awards. Thank you.
The Faculty of Engineering is honored to share with you the achievements of its most outstanding Level 1 and Level 2 students for the academic year 2020-2021. We will begin with our Level 1 students. The most outstanding Level 1 student for Biomedical Engineering is Mr. Jerome Walters. The most outstanding Level 1 student for Civil Engineering is Mr. Kyle Smith. The most outstanding Level 1 student for Electrical Power Engineering is Mr. Donrich Dennis. The most outstanding Level 1 student for Electronics Engineering is Mr. Saeed Bowman. Our top Level 2 students. The most outstanding Level 2 Biomedical Engineering student is Mr. Daniel McGill. The most outstanding Level 2 Civil Engineering student is Ms. Ganga Laheja. The most outstanding Level 2 student for Electrical Power Engineering is Mr. Dervan Miller. And the most outstanding Level 2 student for Electronics Engineering is Ms. Kai Clark.
Most outstanding graduates by program, class of 2021. Biomedical Engineering Program. Brittany Taylor. Civil Engineering Program. Ashley McPherson. Electrical Power Engineering Program, Justin Taylor. Electronics Engineering Program, Alec Campbell. Now for first class honorees, class of 2021. Biomedical Engineering Program, Kimani Anderson. Katie Bihari. Shanae Elliston. Aisha Hewitt. Brittany Taylor. Civil Engineering Program, Matthew Arnold. Brandon Brown. Kenesha Brown. Tennille Donald. Jardine Fraser. Xavier Harris. Yakisha Henry. Shariana Jones. Antonia Lawrence. Ashley McPherson. Tamara Malloy. Lesmar Murray. Tarek Robinson. Lawayne Sharp. Rassini Simpson. Adrian Taylor. Aaliyah Wilson. and Stephen John Wright. For the Electronics Engineering program, Alec Campbell. Jordan Madden. And Joel McConnell.
Professor Ian Boxill, Deputy Principal of Mona Campus, Dr. Adrian Lawrence, Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Dr. Omar Thomas, Deputy Dean, Mr. Alwyn Bissasso, Guild Representative, Faculty of Engineering, Mr. Jamal Banton, Guest Speaker, awardees, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I now read this citation on behalf of the UWI class of 1967, honoring the alumni's awardee. The selection committee for the UWI class of 1967 Award for Excellence in Leadership Innovation in the Faculty of Engineering, MONA, is pleased to name our awardee for the academic year 2020 to 2021. The class of 1967 has sought to identify awardees whose achievements have been inspirational and who would be at the forefront of a movement to attract and grow greater participation and enrollment in STEM programs and activities. This year, the faculty presented us with 3 outstanding nominees from the biomedical, civil, and electrical engineering subdisciplines. And after a most enlightening review process, we selected the candidate with the attributes that best display excellence in both leadership and innovation. We are pleased to announce that Mr. Daniel Megoo, who is now a third-year student in biomedical engineering, is the recipient of the UWI Class 1967 Award for Excellence in Leadership and Innovation for the academic year 2020-2021. Mr. Magoo has been an active member of the student body since his entry into the BSc Biomedical Engineering program and is well known within the faculty for his academic brilliance and his willingness to share his knowledge. As a member of the Irving Hall Honor Society, which provides academic support services for students living in Hall, and across the Mona campus, he conducts informal tutorial sessions with student colleagues to enhance their academic success and assist in exam preparation. Within the Faculty of Engineering, he served as the class representative for one of his courses in 2020 and as a teaching assistant for another in the 2021-22 academic year. Mr. Magoo is a member of the recently established Rehabilitation Outreach Initiative Group, which aims to utilize rehabilitation engineering principles for the improvement of services delivered to individuals with special needs, both on and off campus. In the team's most recent project, Mr. Magoo was an active participant in the reverse engineering of a motorized scooter for the Lions Club Center for students with special needs. We note that Mr. Magoo led the development of 2 recently completed biomedical engineering projects. The first of these was a GSM epileptic seizure detector, consisting of a wearable device to identify when movements in the upper arm of patients with epilepsy are characteristic of the tremors associated with epileptic seizures, and sends an alert via SMS messaging to the caregiver of the patient. The second project was a digital reflex hammer, which allows a doctor to conduct the common knee-jerk reflex test and gather quantitative data such as the applied force, angular displacement of the lower leg, and muscular contraction of the quadriceps muscle. The development of these devices provides an early indication of our expectation for Mr. Magoo's future as an innovator in the field of biomedical engineering. In our deliberations, the selection committee considered academic excellence, leadership, and innovation in naming the awardee. And we are pleased to present Mr. Daniel Magoo with a check for $100,000 representing the UWI class of 1967 Award for Excellence in Leadership and Innovation for 2020-2021, together with a plaque memorializing the event.
Graduates with higher degrees. But first, I want to give special congratulations to all our undergraduate students who have successfully completed their degrees, and especially the most outstanding students in their various categories. As some of you may know, some of your undergraduates may know, the Faculty of Engineering offers a unique experience to graduate students, including the opportunity to work with leading academics. The University of the West Indies has placed significant emphasis on research, and in particular on research that addresses the needs of the region. The Faculty of Engineering offers 2 main programs of study, the MSc in Engineering and Management program, and this is offered in collaboration with the Mona School of Business and Management, and is being supported by the Faculty of Engineering in St. Augustine. And we also have the MPhil or PhD in Engineering, and that offered to persons wishing to pursue a graduate degree in biomedical engineering, civil engineering, electrical power engineering, or electronics engineering on a full-time or part-time basis. With that, we have first two graduates from the graduate program, the first of which, and they're both have PhD degrees now, the first of which is Dr. Davao Sanderson, who is a Doctor of Philosophy in Biomedical Engineering. Mr. Sanderson began his academic career as a physics teacher at the St. Hugh's School for Girls. He later went on to serve as a lecturer in the science department at the Knox Community College. Dr. Sanderson successfully defended his PhD thesis entitled Remediation of Cadmium in Farm Soil Using an Integrated Cadmium Extraction System on April 29, 2021. Congratulations, Dr. Sanderson. Dr. Lyndon Faulkner got a PhD, his Doctor of Philosophy with high commendation in Electronics and Computer Systems Engineering. Lyndon Faulkner is currently the head of the electronics program in the Faculty of Engineering, Mona. He's an engineer by profession with 8 years experience in academia and over 20 years industrial experience. Lyndon Faulkner successfully defended his PhD thesis entitled Predicting the Intelligibility of Speech and Speakers as Perceived by Sensorineural Hearing Impaired Listeners in Noise on June 17, 2021. So congratulations to our 2 doctoral successful candidates. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, presenters, and thanks and congratulations to the awardees in the previous section. Now, next on our program, I see Mr. Bowman will be returning with a rendition, Never Give Up, on the steel drums. But immediately after his presentation, we have three other presentations, all right? We have a presentation from Miss Ashley McPherson, our most outstanding Jamaican undergraduate student here at UWI Mona and across the Caribbean. So she'll be giving her response. And we'll also have a response from Daniel Mego, who was the awardee of the class of 1967 award. And then we're going to have a response from Dr. Lyndon Faulkner on behalf of the distinctive graduates, all right? And so put your hands together for Mr. Bowman back on the steel drums.
Deputy Principal Ian Boxhill, Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Dr. Adrian Lawrence, Deputy Deans, Heads of Programs, Lecturers, Administration of the Faculty of Engineering, or guest speaker, outstanding achievers, students, performers, and all other attendees, good evening. It gives me immense pleasure to be doing the presentation to the invited guest speaker at this evening's forum, Mr. Jamel Banton. Mr. Banton, on behalf of the awardees, I say thank you. Thank you for reminding us that the prospect of learning never ceases. Thank you for the reassurance that drifting from the engineering profession will not profligate all the training gained over the tenure of one's degree. Rather, it provides propulsion for success in other industries. But most of all, I'm grateful for the reality check. Tomorrow is promised to no man. So why are we delaying our happiness? And why are we not practicing carpe diem? My fellow attendees, Mr. Banton has given us 5 rules to employ in our lives going forward. So at the end of the day, I can say I lived. You can say you lived. And we all can say together, we have lived a fruitful life. Mr. Banton has reminded us that we must take the time to get to know ourselves. Who is Ashley McPherson? Who is Adrian Lawrence? Do you know your suggested personality type? Are you aware of the things that brings you genuine joy? Can you honestly say that you're fulfilling your purpose here on this earth? I'm 95% positive that no one has an answer for each question, and so it's time to change that. Furthermore, Mr. Banton has highlighted the importance of taking care of one's emotional, physical, and mental well-being. You can't expect to achieve something if you're not okay. He has highlighted how important it is to think about the next step in your professional career. There may be a gap in completing your undergraduate degree and starting your master's degree. As such, in the interim, why not look towards achieving a minor milestone? This will not only increase your efficiency at your current level, but also allow you to learn a new skill. Let's not forget to enjoy ourselves. As Ding Dong said, we're not in a nothing with stress. Mr. Banton, I thank you for raising the matter of investing in experiences. Whether it is trying a new culture or doing things with our friends and family, it is equally important to stop and smell the roses. And of course, Mr. Banton has rightfully pointed out that we can't run this race alone. It is important to seek mutually beneficial relationships, both personally and on the business side. After all, no man is an island. Lastly, thank you for clarifying that money isn't all evil. I mean, without money, how would we be able to implement rules 1 through 4? Mr. Banton, it has truly been satisfying to take in your presentation, and I wish you well in your future ventures. Once more, I say thank you. Thank you, everyone, and good evening.
Master of Ceremonies, Dr. Omar Thomas, Deputy Dean with responsibility for outreach, internalization, and marketing. Deputy Principal of the University of the West Indies, Mona Campus, Professor Ian Boxall. Managing Director of Smith Warner International, and our guest speaker for today, Mr. Jamel Brown. Representative of the UE class of 1967, Mr. George Campbell. Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Dr. Adrian Lawrence. Deputy Deans, lecturers, administrative staff, graduates, fellow awardees, family and friends, and well-wishers. Good evening. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the UE class of 1967 and the committee responsible for the planning of the award for selecting me to be the recipient of the class of 1967 Excellence in Leadership and Innovation Award for the 2020-2021 academic year. It is truly an honor to receive such a prestigious award. For me and the other students of the Faculty of Engineering, this award serves as a motivator to continually strive for excellence as the future leaders and innovators of tomorrow. It also exemplifies the importance of leading by example and never limiting yourself from delving into the unknown as an engineer. These are qualities I will continue to develop as an ambassador for the Class of 1967 award. And along the way, I hope to inspire others to do the same. To my fellow student engineers, this is a call to become involved in clubs, take up positions of leadership, lead by example, make your voice known, and never be afraid to turn your dreams into a reality. The Faculty of Engineering provides the perfect environment to start. So wait no more. Do not miss this grand opportunity. On behalf of the undergraduate awardees and the class of 2021, I extend a heartfelt thank you to all who played a role in making this event possible. Firstly, I would like to extend my gratitude to the Lord God Almighty for protecting and preserving us in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic and blessing us with the many gifts and talents which were on display and at work behind the scenes during the execution of this event. To our Dean, Dr. Adrian Lawrence, thank you for your usual words of encouragement. Thank you to our guest speaker, Mr. Jamel Brown, for taking time out of your busy schedule to give us nuggets of inspiration. We have taken note of what you said and will do the self-audits. We shall truly strive toward knowing ourselves and investing in our experiences. To our Deputy Principal, Professor Ian Boxell, thank you for bringing us greetings on behalf of the principal and sharing with us words of wisdom. Special thanks go to Ms. Spence and the rest of the administrative staff, as well as the FOE technical support and MITS team, who took on the Herculean task of planning, coordinating, and beautifully executing this evening's event. I'm sure there were varying challenges experienced when putting this event together. However, you were able to overcome them and make this evening nothing short of a resounding success. We extend thanks to our talented colleague, Saeed Bowman, for entertaining us with those beautiful steel pan renditions. We truly enjoyed every moment of your performances. Thank you to all our lecturers who consistently push us to maintain high standards in both our schoolwork and in our life as student engineers. Many of you have gone the extra mile to not only impart knowledge related to our courses, but also advice and life lessons which extend beyond the walls of this university. You also adjusted from the modus operandi and provided us with well-needed support while facilitating teaching in the online modality. And for that, we are truly grateful. Thank you to the ancillary staff who keep our learning environments clean. Your efforts allow us to feel safer while using the different facilities throughout the Faculty of Engineering, enabling us to place greater focus on our studies. Last, but certainly not least, we say thank you to our parents, family, and friends, whose continued support gives us a reason to continue to take on each day despite the challenges that we experience while pursuing our programs. Your guidance and words of encouragement play a critical role in navigating our paths to success. Overall, this evening was a massive success, and it would not have been possible without those who played a role in its fulfillment. Have a good evening, everyone, and God bless.
We're not hearing you, Lyndon.
Sorry about that. Let me start over. Professor Ian Boxell, the Deputy Principal of the University of the West Indies, Dr. Adrian Lawrence, the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Mr. Jamel Banton, our guest speaker, the Masters of Ceremony, distinguished guests, awardees, students, and staff of the Faculty of Engineering, families and friends, a pleasant good afternoon to you all. I am honored to speak on behalf of the recipients of higher degrees in the Faculty of Engineering, MONA. At this time, I want to acknowledge my colleague, Dr. Davor Saunderson, who received a PhD in biomedical engineering. The journey towards a higher degree requires dedication, consistency,
resilience, in-depth knowledge of the subject area, and moments of brilliance. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow succinctly captures the approach we took toward our PhDs in the following statements. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward in the night. At times, the path to our higher degree seemed like a struggle. It was sometimes lonely, and some of us asked questions like, why am I here? Why did I decide to put myself through this? Why I am not getting any support? Some of the challenges we faced at this institution unfortunately extended the duration of our studies. In addition, we were working full-time while doing the research. Some of us have to care for families and teach our children various subjects at primary and secondary levels while doing research. But when we looked at the big picture and saw the contribution our research will make to the development of humanity, the addition to knowledge base and the benefits this qualification will bring, we were further motivated to continue the work that we had started. Unlike an undergraduate degree, the PhD and MPhil at a particular institution are scrutinized internationally. We are required to publish papers in peer-reviewed journals and conduct presentations and poster sessions at international conferences. In addition, our chief examiner is a professor from a foreign university. Therefore, I always tell my friends that I consider a PhD an international degree. Upon recognizing our studies' local and international significance, we were further motivated to raise the bar and conduct our research so that our thesis could be placed at the same shelves like any other work worldwide. Now we have achieved our goals of attaining a Doctor of Philosophy in Electronics and Computer Systems Engineering and a Doctor of Philosophy in Biomedical Engineering. We will continue conducting research and developing solutions that solve real-world problems locally and internationally. Our achievements demonstrate the belief in never yielding to the difficulties faced and doing our best with what you have, where you are, when you can. I want to thank God for giving us life and making this moment possible. In addition, we want to thank several persons and institutions who made significant contributions to our achievements. From the University of the West Indies, our supervisors, Dr. Andre Coy, Dr. Paul Aiken, Dr. Kolapo Ali, our administrators, Dr. Adrian Lawrence, Dr. Nicholas McMorris, members of the administrative team, in particular, Miss Marjorie Spence, Mr. Shavon Hutchinson, and Miss Geraldine McCullough, and the Office of Graduate Studies and Research. From the University of from the University of Sheffield, Professor John Barker. From the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Professor Joseph Delodge, the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission, and the University of Sheffield. Thank you all, and thank you for listening.
Well, we have come to the end of another annual faculty award ceremony. And what an event it has been. Let me thank all the participants in today's event, as well as those who work behind the scene. But thanks to the stars of today's event, our awardees. As the Deputy Dean of Outreach, Internationalization, and Marketing for the faculty, I had the pleasure of perhaps being the first point of contact for some of the awardees today. I encourage our current student awardees to stay the course and for all other students to strive for excellence. Congratulations to our graduating class of 2021, and in particular, those who were awarded this evening. We are proud of you. Congratulations to Dr. Lyndon Faulkner, Dr. Davor Sanderson, on acquiring their engineering doctoral degrees. They are a testament that our faculty has what it takes to produce academics that are able to conduct high-level applied research in the field of engineering. One of the greatest ways to market an organization is through the establishment of its goodwill. Your performance in your careers going forward is a part of us building that goodwill. I implore you that as you take the skills gathered during your time here in the Faculty of Engineering and the UWI-MONA, that you will be a beacon of light, that where and when possible, you will give back, as some of you are already doing, and that as a faculty, our only direction will be up as we grow from strength to strength. Let our faculty be that pathway for producing quality engineers, not only for the region, but globally. And so, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again. It has been a great evening. Until next time, farewell.